lockdown and people respond to the media different in that time. But even with then, if you notice, when that George Floyd thing happened, a lot of like other cultures started to look up Black history, you know, and look up certain things like
open their eyes up.
that got brought up, you know, even certain ignorant
police
white
left
people
as well,
as
you
well.
know, not every police agreed with it.
Yeah, so I believe that if there was
eyes.
platforms to make music for the police to listen, and not just police but anyone in the authority position, they would definitely make some kind of change.
As we said earlier, though, you know, don't think they're not listening when they're in their home, like. You know,
they're listening.
But they can't listen in their group. That's what it is.
But they're listening on the negative vibe, though, as well. Remember, you got the hip hop police. I remember Mike Jelsena told man about hip hop police. You know, it was a serious
He knows.
thing. You know what
he knows.
That's a real thing now.
Yeah.
They exist.
So, you know, they be in their bedrooms listening for negative things. So if we...
Are they in the office?
Yeah, the office, yeah.
But are they listening to hip hop, or are they just focusing on the
they're
drill
looking to
music?
see
on the
You know what I
information.
mean? That's another interesting conversation. How what they did to those drill artists. They actually took out court orders to ban them from actually going to
getting
the
their
studio.
tunes removed off certain.
Well, that was going into it. Because it started from hip hop days.
Hip hop days, and then I remember in the garage days, and they come out with that section 1, whatever the thing was. I remember with all So Solid and them, man, where they put and Wiley and that, they basically, man, they was always having a big scene going on, and lots of raves and parties, and then man said, anytime that these people, government name, come to you about events, lock off, and if not, we're coming for you and your club. Yeah. So that's why a lot of them started getting kicked out, and that's why the Eskinarts had to be all the way down the motorway in Watford.
So that's how garage kind of died.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's how garage kind of died. Not died, but through the commercial streams, it died out.
What they'll do is when that thing is rising,
they're
going to put a cap on it to make the thing so it can't get no higher.
And to say we're in control.
But one thing quickly on what you said, Auntie, is anytime you provide a service, if you're not, as a service provider, if you don't listen or you're not aware of the people you're providing the service and their needs, the service is only ever going to be so good for the people. My thing is that the force that we're talking about, that's not necessarily a service for us. It's not like we think it's protect and serve and these things because we've been led to believe that. But that's not what that organisation is necessarily there. And there may be ones and ones within the organisation.
Yeah, one or two.
That people join with a certain good intention. But with any job you've had, you started the job with one intention.
You have to follow the blueprint.
Right. And by the time you finish that job, you feel a different way.
Yeah, you're a different person. You're not the same person.
You know? So I feel, and that's why enough of them leave.
Yeah.
That's why enough of them, if they're really about and go do other things in other spaces. But away from just the police as such, I feel that, I don't know, say you're working in a bakery, and you're making bread. If you don't know what the community like or whatever, they're going to go to somewhere else eventually because you're putting nuts in the bread and the whole community is allergic to nuts. So you're putting apricots in and
leave the nuts alone.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So it's about knowing
your clients,
your audience.
100%.
We're performers. If we don't know our audience, we can't get a second booking.
You see, sorry, go on.
So I was gonna say, I believe that you see with music, it's a feeling. So it doesn't matter who you are. If you're feeling that energy, that's important. And I think music, no matter what kind of music it is, can connect to anybody because of that feeling. Not necessarily the message, but the energy of it. And so I think it's important.
I suppose for me, it's about the capacity of music, but not just music, art, all of this stuff, creative stuff to change, to transform society. So my idea was like, well, if the Babylon were listening to the sort of music that you're making, and that it would help them to clarify in their mind and understand the background of some of the young people that they're harassing and that they're targeting on the streets, and they might actually look at things in a different way.
Most definitely, it's like in terms of that, because majority of the law enforcement, I think they just got a stereotype on most of the black youth, innit? So if they can listen and say, okay, all right, these lot come from this environment, but they're not moving, they're talking sense, and they're talking uplifting people. They got no choice but to listen.
I think on that one, because through professional reasons, like working with in my own 9 to 5 and these things, I come up to with the police. And as a grown man that carries myself and conducts myself in a certain way, I command a certain respect. It's not because I'm being bossy or nothing.
Yeah.
They're just as a being to a being.
Yeah.
And where I don't deal with them as a badge or as a uniform, I deal with you as a human being, or I don't deal with you as, or even beyond a being, a being, an entity, a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So they have to deal with man a certain way.
Yeah.
They will deal with us because we're meeting them through an organisation or through a certain. They're going to deal with
Civilly.
Yeah. But when it comes to the youths,
Yeah.
these are on the
They're
road,
not gonna.
and especially our youths, but youths in general. Yeah. Their thing is, oi, come here. Do you know what I mean? And no matter how much they're going to look us in the eye at the meeting and deal with us with respect, sometimes you put at Smeagol, you put on that badge, you hold onto the ring, and absolute power corrupt absolutely. Yeah, because how much time you see them turn around and rag up people and all these things on their own camera? See the police officer the other day, the one in America, and he ragged up the female officer. He was punching up the in-cuffs, threatening them, I want to die in your life and all this, and she pulled him back by his belt to kind of just, officer, wait. Man spazzed out, grabbed her by the don't you put it on me ever again in life. Man's on camera, he knows he's on camera. But it's that power that it's like an adrenaline. I work on the canals. Certain time when the people are running and you stop them, you're like, hey, quick chat. And as they calm down, it's that adrenaline rush that you get from that. So often, even if in their right mind, they might deal with you. When they get in the van and the things like, woo, 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 and the bill music starts going in their head. The man that's like the mud.
You're right. I believe that everyone has that little movie playing in their head of themselves. You understand? So these police officers that do dress up and guard, they got this role in their heads. So some of them
are watching Power and all sorts.
Yeah, you get me. So you have all them shiesty feds, doing their legal stuff and that. So yeah.
I think your microphone's gone a bit quiet. Not noticing this jump up. So you might have to. We might have
Switch
to
mics. Switch mics.
Yeah, just switch mics for the moment.
You
But
look
yeah, I
like
mean,
that.
you guys might have to be standing up for a little
Yeah, we
bit.
can
I'm
move
gonna
it. That's all right.
sort out what's happening with the mic. But just in case you need to be able to reach the mic. But we're coming to the next break. People, we've got like 30 seconds. We're going to the promos. This is the Eclectic Goddess. This is the Speak Your Truth show. I've got some amazing guests in the studio. You know who they are. They are Raggo Zulu Rebel, Herbal T, Mad-X, and Ghette. And we will be back after 5 o'clock. Give us about 4 or 5 minute promos. And then we're going to have something live
6
from
o'clock.
you, Ghette.
Yeah.
And some other tracks coming up. So just keep tuned to Feferity Radio, where your nostalgic station. Yes, this is a Speak Your
All
Truth.
day, every day.
Sorry, it's because you said after 5. It's 6 now.
Oh, sorry. See how bad it is there? 6 o'clock already. That's what